Welcome to the aftermath of the 2011 riots, where society tackles an issue both old and new. On one hand, the side of law and order, where politician Creon begins to claw at real power, destabilizing the old order of governments. Her influence stretches far and wide, and she will trample on anyone, powerful or not, to keep her power. She has a vision for the future, to build something from the charred ashes of the concrete streets. Ikke misforstå meg når jeg sier at hun kommer til å klore og bite og dra deg I stykker. Hun en ulv som leder sin flokk. In other words, do not be mistaken when I say she will tear and strike and rip and bite. She's a wolf leading the pack, and she will lead us into utopia or oblivion. Let me show you what has been and what lies on the other side. Two brothers have come to symbolize this conflict. From a house which stuck in the minds of the city, one, Antigone, fought on Creon's side. Modig og pliktoppfyllende, men viktigst av alt, loyal, brave and dutiful, but most importantly loyal, unflinching. He was sent to patrol the streets, to put down anyone left trying to cause unrest. And in what was causing unrest stood his brother, Polyneices. A fearsome, rebellious spirit lay in his heart, and when the call came to attack those who wielded and abused their power, he was there. Those with politics in their minds, or those just looking to raise hell, he was there. Any strike against the system was worth it. And these two brothers met, barely recognizing each other among the violence. They slaughtered each other. Men stemmer og blodige batonger og murstein smeltet sammen as voices and fists and bloody batons and bricks all merged into one.
And my mother, when she heard of her loyal followers' noble sacrifice, who died defending the city, brought her justice to life and decreed this. Eteocles would be buried with full honours and prepared for his journey to the underworld. Only Eteocles. The other one, no burial, no honour, no preparation for the afterlife, his spirit left to wander Hades in misery forever. These are not just players in a game. Though maybe to Creon they are nothing more than pawns. This world has become a violent catalyst for change. But I don't know what it will change into. And I fear for us all as to whether we'll survive.
Antigone, huh? Oh, what took you so long? Did anyone follow you? Okay. Have you heard anything new from the riots? So far, we felt the weight of sadness, of destruction, of disgrace, and even dishonor. And now, our new leader, our own family, has stunned this whole city with this new proclamation of hers. Do you know what shame this will bring upon our brothers? What it all means?
No, Antigone, I don't. I've heard nothing about them, neither good or bad, since that day when our brothers murdered each other in their fatal war. I've heard that the rioting has stopped for now, but violence is in the air and people are still roaming the streets. Other than that, nothing.
I thought so. That's why I brought you out here, Miss Mimi, to tell you about it alone and away from prying eyes.
Antigone, what is it? I can feel something frightening in your words.
They say Creon, that vile woman, has buried Eteocles with all the proper burial rites and ceremonies, fully preparing him for the world below, right? But Polynices, who died a death just as horrible, should be left unburied and dishonored, left to be food for the sky's starving ravens. Creon will besmirch our name, our family, forever with this.
Antigone, you okay? You okay?
So that's how things stand at the moment. And now you, my dear sister, now you must show the true worth of your birth. When you do it,
Oh,
you should do
Antigone.
that.
If things have come this far, what is there to be done?
We can do something together.
Cosa c'è da fare? What is there to do? I fear you when you speak in words shrouded in fog.
Sweetie, help me put to rest our brother's corpse.
You're thinking of burying Polynices? It's too dangerous. Have you gone mad?
He is your brother! Yours and mine! We spent years under the same roof, raised each other when our father couldn't bear living another day. And if you won't help me, they won't blame me for having betrayed him. You who would run away from the duty that you owe to Polynices.
You stab at my heart when you speak so. His death left me ruined, and you know that. Are you really going to go against Creon, Antigone?
No man! No woman, no person has the right to separate me from my family, from those who love me, our father!
How wretched his soul became when he discovered that awful truth of it. When he discovered...
Listen to me!
When he discovered that his wife had been his mother. He couldn't bear to live with us. His own children he was meant to love and protect. Ha strappato I suoi occhi, l'ho visto, I watched him do it. He tore his eyes out. Our father, in his love, died that day and left a ghost to care for us. And now our brothers are gone too, and we're alone, Antigone. I'm begging you, think what awful end we can expect if we go against Creon's wishes. We're alone, Antigone. No one left to call on. I'm not saying we do nothing. We can pray for their souls, pray for forgiveness and entrance into Elysium for both, but please don't gamble with your life in this way. Not after all this. It's madness.
Fine then. I won't beg you. I can see where your heart lies. I will go and I will bury him, and if I die, My death will be sweet once he is buried, because I will be lying next to him in the underworld, having committed a sacred, blessed act, not a crime. The only crime in the eyes of the gods is sacrilege, and I will not condemn myself to the gods' wrath for your cowardice.
Perché deve essere sì feroce? Why must you be so fierce? I'm not dishonoring them, Antigone, but I can't see how we can go against Creon either, not without endangering ourselves. It's not what they would have wanted.
Please just do what you will, Ismene, but I will do what I have to.
Antigone, I'm afraid for you.
Afraid? No. Don't be afraid for me. You have to look out for yourself now.
At least, please don't tell anyone else, and I won't either. Let's keep this
secret. It's me! Tell everyone you laid your eyes upon it. Fact! I would hate you all the more if you didn't.
Ice is wrapped around your fiery heart, my dear
Oh,
sister.
perhaps, but I know what I have to do. It's what's right.
Perhaps you may succeed, but you're asking to do the impossible.
At least I should be trying for as long as my strength holds
Even
out.
your powers have limits, yet you refuse to acknowledge it. You're in love with the impossible.
No, I'm in love with you. I love you. But the more you speak, tongue dripping in fear, the more I'll despise you and what you have to say. Polynesius and Antigone, they would think the same. Once you go down to Hades,
I have the golden date. 1945 saw the rise of London's grave. Infected and infested. The sight we see and so pretty is the sins and contritions that we should be repenting. Don't get me wrong, I'm not blaming, it's just, well, our young scruffs think that they dress in fashion. Their tradition of black hooded wear signifies succession. It's obsession and compulsion to create a sense of fear. We see it all around us here. They are loud-mouthed and proud. Don't get me wrong, I'm not blaming, but they have as a horse. Flood our floors, break down our doors. You see, the cracks in our concrete have been moulded internally. Filthy and dirty. It's that image, that slightly unsightly sons and daughters of anarchy. Don't get me wrong, I'm not blaming, but listen to the sirens bellowing their names. That cultural enrichment and teenage rebellion enhancement is rippling in the air. Cold, dark stairs flickering in the distance, shadows lurking, it's murky, it's persistent. Born to suck my pride, London's pride. But thankfully, the politicians who govern my system are resisting the fear. The dirty brown puddle unclear, reflecting my reflections right. A political pox they catch, terminating the infection fast. A quick fix until they put the immigrants back to where they come from, or put them behind bars. I am blaming them. It's just that. It's their fault.
The gods, and our powers which govern us, in parliament or down on the streets in uniform, have righted our turbulent ship. Those impassioned rioters, I've gathered you here today, you alone, because I know of the respect you have for those who help put down those troublemakers.
Yes.
Never back down from those who threaten the stability of the state. No enemy shall be my friend. Our safety relies on a steady ship with a steady captain. State, And so, in respect of my dear nephews, I have proclaimed that Antigone, a virtuous defender of us, will receive a state funeral with full honours. As for those who sought to destroy our homes, his brother who brought shame upon us all, Polyneices, will receive nothing, not even a burial. He will be taken somewhere unknown, left to be torn apart by vermin, just as he sought to do to us. Let the dogs tear it apart, mangle it, and make it a ghastly sight for all. No one will mourn. No one will dare bury him. You see, dirt has no status here. Is this understood? We must never give the dishonourable the same rights we gave to those who defend us, and I challenge anyone here to defy my words.
You are a powerful woman, Creole, even if your methods are severe. Powerful enough to stop the dead from resting.
Then make sure you have listened to what I've said, and not just let it fly in one ear and disappear out of the other. I have people on all ends, and my sources will be true if you are not.
Oh, sorry. Creole, madam. I can't say we've lost our breath in running here.
God knows we stopped often enough on the way here and almost turned back.
She didn't mean that. My soul, you see, was talking to me all the while, but while it kept changing its mind.
Poor fool.
It would say one
Why are
minute,
you rushing to your suffering?
and then the next.
Turn back, you stupid lump.
It would say...
Why are you hanging about like this? What if Creon finds out? What a mess we'd be in.
Words were spinning about in my head and made this journey just so much longer.
Well, in your head.
Well, yeah, just in my head.
Yeah, not in my head.
We've already said that.
Oh.
Anyway.
Sorry, my lord.
My lady.
Anyway,
in spite of all the arguing and
the
bickering,
decision to come here before you won over.
and even if we have nothing to say, I have still come here in the hope that I'll be able to speak, because I've come here in the hope that I won't suffer.
Hang on, you know what? I want to say something about me. Because I've neither done the awful deed, nor seen who did.
So by rights,
we.
we should suffer nothing because of it, because we didn't do the deed.
I hear a lot of words and yet nothing is being said. Spit it out. Who are you anyway?
Just passers by and our news. It's always awful to utter bad
Well, then
news.
say what you have to and be off.
Right.
Right. Well,
so
someone we don't know
we
who.
don't know,
of
a
course.
person, burying the body of Polyneices.
The dead body of Polyneices, shallow grave,
grave,
terribly
shallow grave. Near the crematorium.
Crematorium where you were keeping him. Incense.
Incense was strong.
So smelling remarkable. And the sacred rites were done.
What? Which man has the audacity to do such a thing?
Impossible to tell, Mom.
It's madness. The ground doesn't even look disturbed. There's no coffin, yet no beast has come to tear up the ground and feast on the corpse. Well, incense can't keep away the hungry dogs, and yet I asked the guards you put there if they'd seen what had happened, and they hadn't even realised the body was gone. They thought it was still in there. It's almost
Don't say it.
as if a ghost or spirit.
Shut it with that nonsense. Just tell what happened next.
Well, we started fighting with each other and everyone who had come to see what was going on. We started screaming and accusing each other of treachery. Well, no one wanted to fall under the weight of your anger. Each one of us pleaded innocence, so we were locked in a stalemate. The only thing we could do was come to tell you, and some said we should try to cover it up without knowing we had something to hide.
You don't.
But we don't. So now we're here, unwilling I might add, because no one welcomes the bearer of bad news.
Creole? What if it was some god's doing? No? No? Be quiet. It seems that not only are you all weak, but you're mindless as well. I cannot tolerate such nonsense. The gods do not care for this corpse. Why should they? To honour a man who sought to bring fire to our homes, to our businesses, to our shrines, to those above us, to turn the lives and laws of the people upside down. Or do you see the gods honouring evildoers these days? Do you think the gods find thugs and criminals like that honourable? Of course not. No. I saw people in that crowd, shaking their heads, muttering discontent to their fellow man, nodding along whilst in their hearts plotting to undermine me. And they thought it was just an empty threat. That's expected. These pathetic, powerless leaders that surround me only echo empty words. I know whichever scum that pulled this off was paid by their back-stabbing allies. Slaves to money in their position instead of doing their duty. Interesting. Money. No discovery ever made by man was worse than those dirty metal coins and feeble paper notes. It's this gold coin that turns countries upside down. It's this filthy, weathered note that sends men away from their homes. It's this grubby collection of ore that turns the minds of wise people, makes them wander about lost in evil. But it will not be long. I will find this sly dog, and they will pay back in blood what they earned in coin. And if you do not bring here the person who was to find me and committed this atrocious burial, if you do not bring them to me right here, they will not speak of the tortures I inflict on you in Hades.
Lady, whoever now to speak.
Your voice is like a rash, irritating, and I want out with it.
Does it hurt your ears or your soul?
Is there a difference?
Well, he just annoys you. But it's the person who has done it that hurts you.
Oh, what a chatterbox the gods have made of you both!
But that's true, but we're innocent.
Every guilty person declares the same. But if you do not find the person responsible, you'll be guilty in my eyes. And there'll be nowhere for you two to hide.
Where should we start?
Start? Have you lost what little sense you had? We've got to get out of here.
But Creon said
Look,
that...
if we come back empty-handed, we're dead for sure. But if we do as she asks, there's a chance that she may let us off.
She might kill us anyway, since your persona irritates her to such a degree.
Hey, look, we must run and pray to the gods to give us safe passage. Fate will decide the rest.
Are you sure?
No. But I am sure that we must get out this dangerous cesspool. Sometimes doing the right thing doesn't pay after all. I guess we must have been dreaming
To
to...
expect a reward. Well, let's make haste then and flee this awful city. Nieces.
J'ai pas une peinture. Qu'en pensez-vous? I've painted a picture. What do you think? A composition on the canvas. The classicism of contemporary colors. It's cubism. Does it represent a new reality? A vitality of women? Comme les films à Picasso. I know. Alors que je caresse, as I caress, each stroke by the neck of the brush, composition of soft, sweet skin to touch. Des lèvres embrassées par le soleil, le galbe doux des hanches. Soft, sun-kissed lips, soft, curvy lips. Soft, this dragon squish! So soft. Soft, like the meat that hangs off your dick! Ironic, don't you think? Tenue par une laisse à mon cou, held by a leash on my neck that is, she can either be a beauty, a beast, or a bitch. She can either be cool, crazy, or frigid. Rated, grated, man-made digit! Vous savez, je me suis tenue fière et droite sur les rochers du temps. Et je me suis tenue forte sur le même béton sur lequel vous vouliez m'enterrer. I stood strong in the same concrete you tried to push me in beneath. We're bargaining with what we can't afford. Don't you think it's a heavy price for an empty dream on a ripped receipt?
Good morning, sir.
Seraphine, Mosen?
I have the notes from last meeting if anyone wants to read them.
I think Creole will probably just
Oh, the clowns are back.
My research as to why.
They looked ready to flee, and now they brought a guest.
Surely that can't be Antigone! No, Creole's niece? What are you doing here? Why do these idiots
We do not like to be brought in.
We are not idiots.
Even though we came back.
Even though we came back, we're not idiots.
No, we're not. Now, where is Creon, since we have the traitor?
We've caught her burying the body of Polynices.
After all that fury and anger you threw our way, we were ready to leave.
We were going to run, jump on a train and flee. But now we're here, with the gift you so desperately crave.
No loss to draw this time. The luck was wholly mine and no one else's. The luck was wholly ours and no one else's.
And now, she's all yours. Take her, question her, judge her as you wish. But we will take our leave without the thought of death hanging over our heads.
How did you catch her doing what exactly?
Do you know what?
You know, she was
Burying the body of Polynices.
Do you understand what kind of accusation you two are making?
completely,
It made us sad.
but happy because now we're free of any accusations.
I'm telling you, with our own eyes we saw it. She was burying the body of Polynices.
The one you banned, we both saw it with our own eyes.
Well, are we not making ourselves clear?
How was she seen? Who caught her? Where was this?
Well, Mom, we were packing up our things and were passing through the city. The rioting was kicking off something fierce, you must have noticed. And so we detoured back through the crematorium.
Because we knew the area well.
Good. Because we knew the area well, knew how to stay out of trouble. And I convinced her at least that if we couldn't find your culprit, to dig the body back up. Said it might convince you not to set your guard dogs on us. Said it might convince you that we did, that we do respect you and are loyal to you, honest. So time passes and I have this ingenious idea that the culprit always returns to the scene of the crime. She said I was mad, but I could feel it in my gut. The gods were telling me.
We waited. Only a few hours. The sun was setting behind
and the towering estate buildings. And suddenly, it got hotter and hotter. The very air seemed to radiate and our flesh seemed to be searing off our bones. So we went behind this bush and we went behind this tree, which was offering no shade really, was it? And then we could finally bear it any longer. It stopped. The air cooled and a gentle breeze came by.
And out comes this girl. So we hide and we watch and we wait. And suddenly she sees this corpse. Now in that heat, the smell was so strong it took all of our might not to vomit. And she comes towards the corpse. She gets down on her knees and she cradles it. And she cries and she wails and she screams and she moans and she curses us in every name her tongue could find.
And she went behind this tree and she pulled out a bag and, well, we just kind of went and grabbed her and we accused her of betraying you, Creon, and you won't believe it, but she said yes!
She said yes, Creon. Said she had. Said she was betraying you. Sorry. Obviously. We asked her for an explanation, but she has been silent ever since. Not a single word.
And that is the truth. By the Olympians above, we swear it.
You there, you with your head to the ground, you admit your guilt.
I admit my guilt.
Leave us. You were free from suspicion.
No reward?
Do not wish your luck. I asked you for the culprit and you have brought her. No reward was offered to your greedy heart.
Come on, Milo, you know what happens to the disobedient here?
She has more wits than you do. Leave.
Fine! It appears I've been made a fool of twice now.
So, tell me, did you know how I felt? What I said about this matter?
Yes. Of course I knew. Everyone in this city knew.
And you still had the audacity to go against me and my word.
Yes! Because I don't live by your commands, Creon. Your threats dishonor our family. Your family. Polynices was your nephew, regardless of what side he fought on. What use are sides and loyalties anyway when the end result is the same? How could you condemn someone of your own lineage to such a cruel fate? Your threats don't have the power to stop me from giving him proper burial rites. Your threats don't have the power to override those unwritten and sacred laws that we hold. Your threats mean nothing against the will of the underworld. No. I knew my death would come sooner or later. But there are more important things than earning a few more days on this ravaged land. The pain of seeing his body. My mother's son rot and putrefy. That would be worse than death!
Woman, I do not care if she may be of my own blood or my sister's child. Family allegiances are for the small-minded. She will not escape death. And her sister will be put to death as well, because I accuse her too of scheming the burial of Polyneices' corpse. Get her here immediately. No doubt she's already trying to leave, knowing the fate which will befall her. It's clear to me now that both your souls were decaying long before this terrible deed you two have committed. I should have seen it earlier. There's nothing worse than your own plotting against you. Knives drawn to plunge in your back.
I didn't hide anything, Creon. I'm ready to die. So kill me then. Oh, or are you waiting for somebody else to do it?
Who, me? No, I need nothing else. I have my culprit, the other, to arrive soon, and I have my pride in knowing I defend those people who follow my law.
So what are you waiting for? I've had my pleasure in burying my brother. And those people you speak of, they know I did the right thing. They would say so. They weren't so terrified of you. No, you would only leave more corpses to bury.
Oh, aren't you ashamed of yourself, standing apart from everyone in this?
No, I feel no shame in wanting to honour my own flesh and blood.
Was Antigone not your own flesh and blood?
Yes.
How then do you honour Polyneices when this is a dishonour to your other brother? They killed each other over their differences, or are you too pig-headed to see that Antigone died trying to prevent future bloodshed, whilst Polyneices only wanted to incite more? They'd kill their own if they could.
You don't understand, Creon. Because you don't listen. And those riots are the voices that you won't listen to. You can't see why they rioted, the injustices that push them into action. No. You can only see what you want to condemn. Besides, neither of them would bring this up in the underworld. Death has a way of curing our differences.
But though one is a traitor, you honour them both in the same way.
I'm burying a brother, not a dog!
It's not right for good and evil to be rewarded by the same lot.
Who knows if this is of any value down below?
No enemy will become a friend in the underworld.
Oh, we must be about sharing love, not hatred!
Well then, if you must love those you'll meet down below, but as long as I am on this earth, I am in charge of your fate, and your authority, moral or otherwise, is none.
Creon, the other one's here. She didn't help bury Polyneices. Is she not innocent?
Of course she's innocent. She looks so empty.
Appearances can be deceiving, since it appears that two curses have been set here to strike at me, to undermine me. Come here. Will you admit that you took part in this act, or will you claim you knew nothing about it?
Yes. I accept responsibility. Excellent. She admits to doing it, so do I. No, I will not allow you to do this. You neither want to help me, nor did I take you with me when I did. I'm ashamed in sharing this dangerous journey with you. Hades and all the gods below know who did this deed. And I can't tolerate a sister who only loves with her words.
Lasciami morire con te. Let me die with you, Antigone, and pay my debt to our brother. Don't refuse me that.
No, my own death is enough. I have no need for your company down below.
What will be left for me if I lose you?
Ask Creon. It's high you can.
Why must you be so hateful? What do you gain by hurting me so much?
If I am hurting you, then I'm only hurting myself.
Can I not help you somehow?
No, save yourself. Please enjoy what life you have left. I do not envy your escape of death.
So we cannot share the same fate.
no. No, we cannot. Because you choose to live. And I choose to die. I'm not helping. Please tell me your reasons for doing it.
Because you believed in their systems of justice and I believed in mine.
The fault lies in us equally.
How can it be so? When I was the one who dug the earth with my bare hands. My soul has already died, but yours is still here.
Oh, these idiots! One of them has just turned mad and the other has always been so.
Even the mind gives up when faced with such torment.
Oh, your mind left you the moment you started mingling with evildoers.
What will be left for me if I lose her?
Her! She's a dead woman walking.
You would kill your son's love.
There are fields less defiled on this earth, not polluted by madness.
They love each other.
A rabid dog may still love its owner, but it needs to be put down.
You disgraced your son.
My son is my concern since you did not birth him.
Madame, are you sure you want to deprive your son of her?
They cannot be together in Hades.
Freon, are you sure you will not move?
Please convince me.
Yes, I am sure, and what's more is I'll have your support. Right, let's put an end to all of this. Take Antigone away, shut her downstairs, get her sister out of the if I ever again, it will be too soon.
Thank you is nice. Free word, worth a heavy price. In a clumped container, they simmer down in their worn-out seats. A sigh of relief, somehow a calmer, safer sort of defeat. I notice how they look through the scratched screens. Heavy eyes to lapse into an empty dream. Eloping the fragments of the past and expecting soon to arrive to their haven. Words are money, I feel, rotten and vile, worth a great deal. £1.50. This ride provides quiet safety, a solidarity that is quite restful after long nights. £1.50, the transport that will handle grown men, they're grown. Let us on the buses! £1.50 for those who know that the word no means no. £1.50 for being called weak because I won't retaliate to their screams. This happens at least once a week. £1.50 is your fair price, right? But what's fair about people with fists flying, starting fights? £1.50 to the wanker who threw bricks at my bus! That's enough to quit, isn't it? I'm done. I'm through with it. £1.50 is the price you pay to look out at the pains while I suffer. Silent, wavering and lost in my pain. If a rebel is someone who rebels for a cause, the opposite effect still calls for war. Generations I see step up, walk through my open doors, and I swear, that rampant soul, I swear its sole purpose is to tear up this bus without shedding a single tear. Learning from the peers how to execute fear and dream of a hell on earth. Shots gave birth to a new power. That boy has become a man, much like his father. Ragged, cracked dreams, dead screams at night. It's a life that's blinding, incessantly frightening. spew slander and smear your family name. But don't you understand? It's their game. They have to play. I drive past their board, but they don't seem so bored because they're ready to roll the dice. I believe that the gods have thought it out. It was written out once, and you will all write it out again. These games, these devilish and villainous games, these vile and corruptive games, they cannot, they will not end. And I'll drive past them towards. Through my scratched screen, I see. You'll pay £1.50, and I'll simmer down in my worn-out seat. Creon's boy, it's good to see you here.
Ah, reckon he's come because he knows what's happened to Antigone.
It does look terribly sad.
Well, we will soon know better than if a reporter had explained it to us. Tell me, my son, have you come here to hear what will happen to Antigone?
Yes, Mother. Ismene came to my flat and told me. Mother, I am your son. You are my guide. You have kept me safe with your good counsel, and I in turn have followed your advice because I know it to be worthy.
It makes me so happy to hear you say so, Haman, my love. I must admit, I was nervous she might come down here filled with rage. Your mind clouded with lust or worse. I went through so much to bring you into this world, and it brings me such joy knowing that you listen to me and respect my wisdom. But do not let this girl make you forget these sentiments, my son. Get rid of this girl and send her down to Hades, where she can be with anyone she wants. She was the only one in this city who decided to disobey my command, and I will not look like a liar before every citizen. She can go and sing her prayers to Zeus down below. A leader who can manage her own home will be worthy of managing this city. Maybe even this nation one day, and that's where unquestionably in all things. And when we are leaders then we can reshape everything. You see, there is no worse thing than anarchy. It destroys nations, destroys homes, turns the guns and spears of allies into treacherous cowards. Those soldiers left standing, the survivors have been saved by discipline. Disorder will ruin us, and it will ruin you.
Haman, her words are strong and powerful. I believe what she says to be true.
Mother, you are not wrong. Your words, they are strong and hold great truth. But others can speak the truth also. I've heard what they're saying about you, what they say behind your back, and, well, word has already leaked about Antigone, and they grieve over her. People who have never met her, or you, they cry out in pain that such a miscarriage of justice is happening. They don't believe she committed any crime. They say, God bless her for saving that corpse. She deserves a medal, not a death sentence. They're not doing it to undermine you, Mother. Please listen. These riots, they broke out because of the injustices that they felt, that they saw. Don't walk headlong into another one. If you sentence her to death without a trial, you'll only open the floodgates to their anger. But I am not fighting their cause. My only concern is you. I have worked hard to make you proud, but Mother, you cannot be right all the time, no matter how smart. Please, bend a little to the fury and try and change your mind. I may be younger, but I still may be able to judge what is right.
Creon, the boy is not a fool.
Creon, perhaps you could listen to him and see if what he says is wise. Et toi aussi, Edmond, because both of you spoke well.
No, but should I allow a child to teach me wisdom?
Justice only. Young or old, one does not look at years but deeds.
Do you consider the deeds of lawbreakers to be good?
Mother, you alone do not make laws.
I am the city's leader, am I not? And do not those in charge make the law?
Not as tyrants, and no without counsel.
So you are willing to disobey the law?
No, and I would not ask anyone to consider that lawbreakers are good.
And yet has she not been caught committing such a crime?
Yes, she has for you, but for the gods she has not.
Is the city then to dictate what my orders should be?
No one is saying that,
Should I
Mother.
govern a city but others are not for
There
me?
is not a city that belongs to a single being.
So a city does not belong to the being who governs it, who embodies its will.
Enough, Mother. Lives hang in the balance of your ideas.
Oh, I can see that this young boy is taking the side of the mad girl.
That is true. If you are the mad girl, because I only care about your welfare.
Most evil boy, are you fighting with me, your own flesh and blood?
If I am, it's only because I can see you practicing evil deeds.
And do I practice evil when I'm defending our rights?
You do not defend them when you trample all over the laws of the gods.
Most arrogant boy, you are no more than a servant to a weak, pathetic girl.
Yet you are enslaved to your own blind stubbornness.
All this talk is for her sake.
For hers and for yours. For mine, for the sake of all the gods above and below.
Tear it out of your mind. You will never be with this woman alive.
So she will die. Her death will take another with her.
You're still arrogant enough to throw threats at me after everything I've done.
It's not a threat to speak against a stupid opinion.
You'll pay dearly for this. To want to teach others when you're without a brain yourself.
You want to speak and to lead, but not to listen.
Listen to you, the servant of a criminal. Be quiet.
Had you not been my mother, I would be telling you you are deranged.
That's so! Is that what you'd be telling me? What by the gods of Olympus? I won't let you enjoy this insolence for long. Get off me! Tell the officers it's time to dispose of the girl. No more waiting. No more discussions. Justice must be done. By Zeus, I swear it.
Neither she will die, nor your eyes see me again. Let your followers enjoy your madness. To look at you now, my dear mother, to see how twisted your mind is, what you're willing to do. You are a monster, wearing my mother's skin. She is dead, and you have killed her.
A mind such as his, full of fury and indignation, will be carrying a dangerously heavy burden of thought.
Let him go. Let his mind wander as it pleases. But as for those women, they will not be saved from their death by anyone.
Is that true? Will you kill both of them?
You're right. Although as Mimi sent Haman here to wound me, the one who had no hand in it should go free.
And the other? How will you kill Antigone?
The guards will know what I want. They've done it before. They'll shut her in the basement of this building, locked inside an archive no one will ever visit. Let her body rot in a room as still as death. Maybe in there she can pray to Hades, whom she respects more than any other god, and he can save her from death. Otherwise, maybe she'll learn there's no use in earning the respect of the dead.
Creon, maybe
I need you to do something for me. Bring Amos here. It's time for her to collect her blood money.
of sunlight. Yet Hades, who accepts all, invites me to the banks of Styx, that accursed river, having not felt the joys of a wedding or of living. Yet death will be my husband, the underworld my wedding chamber, and call to my city. People who possess her lands, let you be my witness, for I am taken from a jail to a grave, unlamented because of such gruesome laws, gruesome cowardice in the face of the powerful. Abandoned and forgotten, to lie waste away underground, neither with the living nor the dead. Did people bleed on those streets so that those in power could keep punishing those who disagreed with them? No. I am murdered. Let it be known. Creon? Creon is my killer.
Antigone, how has it come to this? By Zeus, you're right, Creon is a killer, but you put your neck under her axe.
You carry no illness nor have been hit by some heavy sword, but because you alone drove towards it. You forced her hand.
Antigone, come on. I mean, these riders didn't choose to die. You have to tell us and the people why.
Niobe. My father told me stories of a sad and bitter death. I can't help but feel that her tragic fate be the same as mine. The rains and endless snows fall upon her body, and tears roll down her throat. No snow will fall upon my body, but I will have nothing left to do but weep.
But she was a god, Antigone. You are only mortal, and so are we.
We live up there in a world that we can never be a part of.
And they're laughing at me.
Antigone, you rushed too far, too fast to the edge of daring.
And there, Antigone, you have sealed your fate upon Creon's throne of justice.
Antigone, I believe my heart is with your call. You provoked a fury you knew would happen. You're willful, but too much, and inflexible. This is you breaking.
Without songs of lament, no joyful songs of marriage, I am left friendless and lost. Forced along this inescapable final path. Is there no friend who will shed a single tear of anguish for my death?
You know, if lamentations and cries were of any use to the dead, and they'd never end, take her away from here and quickly. Shut her in the basement and leave her there. Let her die if she wants, or let her marry in there. We are innocent of her. She has committed her crimes, and she will die by them. We all must be willing to die by them.
I'll go. I can't fight it any longer. But I go hoping that my family, all of those poor souls, will receive me with love. I wanted you all, please. Please let there be justice for that. In obeying the laws, I have somehow broken them, condemned to the cruel state. What do you think I did? You think it's a crime, because your grotesque arrogance is the only thing you care for. I will die, so
soundly. New heartless, empty.
Bitch! No!
Calm down.
My God! Let go of me! Let go of me!
My soul is in the grips of the same world.
My patience is finished, and your fate has reached its end. It's not easy for a leader to take charge. Allies and enemies all stand around me, daggers drawn, wishing and scheming to take my place. Those wretched crowds that crave power but did not earn it. Some will say I've been too harsh, too brutal or unforgiving towards Polonices, Antigone, and even my own precious son. But they see only their wants, their shallow and petty goals. We will all be gone from here soon, dust on the earth and spirits left wandering the underworld below. All that will be left standing is this city, filled with people who despise me, love me, or simply do not know me. City needs a leader who must place the needs of the city above all else, regardless of the cost, and my city threatens to tear itself asunder. The wise choice is never the easy choice. And I have Athena's wisdom to guide me, I'm sure of it. If Antigone is the cost for order, I will pay that price. If offending those silent gods is the cost for order, I will pay that price. I will pay any price. I must.
I'm glad you called for me. Nice to see you haven't been entirely devoured by your own self-indulgence. I do have information for you.
Oh, tell me, what golden secrets do you bring from your newsroom? I'd be a fool to ignore your help.
Indeed, a fool you would be, and a fool you are
Do
now.
not push me, Amos. I've had my fill of insolence for today. Tell me, what have you heard?
But what I have to say will not be pleasing to hear.
I've never once before ignored your thoughts, sweet or sour.
That's why you're here now, stirring this city.
A little much. But I agree, your views have helped me often.
Well then, Creon, know this. To err, put ease. You're treading upon a razor's edge.
My whole life up until this point has been on a razor's edge.
Your arrogance will undo you. Listen to what I brought you. Listen to what you failed to hear.
Creon, she's vile. She's nasty. I can't understand why she can't see what she's doing is wrong. Like, she's used a fucking death penalty on someone who was completely right. Antigone, she can't be sentenced to death. I mean, come on, she was following God's will. Those who guide us in everything, and Creon is the one who's saying that's not okay. How is that possible? How is that justified in any way whatsoever? It makes no sense whatsoever. I can't comprehend it at all.
What you need to know is, are you the only one thinking this way? Are you the only one that's saying, okay, this is wrong? You need to go and find out if your opinion is right to begin with. Like in Creon's case, she didn't do that at all. She believes her opinion is right. She believes her opinion is more than right. She believes her opinion is written in stone. And that's not a way to have, because if you believe that, then she won't listen to the people around her. She won't listen to the people's opinions of those around her, and therefore she's going in.
I'll be sure of this! You won't be changing my mind.
Oh, be sure of this, Creon! Your bloodline will have its victims, just as you claim one from the house of Oedipus. Pray, you've not done anything foolish. enough our speech is lined with a golden bribe. Every person, every city, every nation, its hatred boils when they're not listened to. Riots are the language of the unheard, Creon. You won't be able to escape that. No one can. Because that fury will be righteous, bursting from inside with a cry for justice, and you will have brought that down upon your own head. Because you couldn't. No. Because you did not listen.
She's done what she said.
I risk it by saying this, but she is an honourable woman, at least for one in her profession.
I know that, and my mind is in turmoil. It would be a terrible thing if I were to retreat, yet to insist upon this course frightens me that I shall fall upon disaster.
But you must make a choice, madam.
And tell me what I should do, and I shall listen.
Go. Quickly, release me.
But I can't.
Creon, you must.
What do you think I should do?
Release her. Think what would happen if you don't.
But after all of this, to abandon it!
Creon, what you risk to carry on, I dare not imagine.
Okay.
Well, quickly then. Every second is precious. Go. Said that love is a serious mental disease, and how many of us would agree? The evolutionary foundation, it can be categorized into three. You have the urges: uranium, ingenium, Einsteinium, driven by the desire of sexual gratification that is quickly awakened. It's amazing how our fundamental social interaction has maintained our social expansion. Oh, but if you subtract the implications from the equation, then what is left but a perfect vision? The human condition begins to invite indium, vanadium, iodine, tellurium. High levels of dopamine are released, chemicals commonly found in people with
To put their vision into play.
Don't you think she's had enough? Okay. No matter what happens in the future, she has to live with her mistakes.
Perhaps. But that is a small cry from what the rest of us may suffer from the likes of her. She condemned Antigone to death, a woman who had no reason to die, all for her pride. I hope the mob tear her limb from limb.
Has she not suffered enough? The same cruelty that ran through her veins runs through yours, Amanda.
I've had enough of both of you. One of you dirty and violent. Calm down. The other soft and meek. I've had enough.
Look at you all, so disgustingly righteous. Discussing me as if I were at a market stall, ready to be weighed up and traded for the right price. I am ruined. I am a void, left to wander on this ground, this concrete soil and stone. Even if I descend to the underworld, I can't escape my crimes, can't escape my memories. I don't care what happens to me now. Get out, all of you. Let the mob tear me apart. Let them imprison me, or let me get off scot-free. None of it matters anymore.
massive, massive thank you to Alex Ailing who helped write the script. All of you for being a wonderful audience, and to the cast and to the crew, and we all hope you enjoyed everything that you saw tonight. So thank you very much.